Jesus gives the way hints to being resilient and strong in life. I speak to you when you are tired. I know you are tired, even when you smile. I know you are strong for everyone else but weak when you are alone. I know the nights when your mind does not rest and the mornings when your heart feels heavier than your body. Before you clicked this video, I already knew you would be here. I am not speaking to the crowd today, I am speaking to you. You have been wondering how long you can keep going like this. You have asked yourself questions you never say out loud. You have tried to stay faithful, yet part of you feels worn down, stretched thin, and quietly discouraged. You still believe in me, but your strength feels borrowed, not renewed. That is why I am speaking now. Do not think your weakness surprises me. I saw it before you did. I saw the pressure building when no one else noticed. I saw the tears you wiped away quickly. I saw the prayers you whispered without words. I saw the moment you said, I can't do this alone anymore, even if you never said my name. And I want you to hear this clearly. You were never meant to do it alone. The world taught you to be strong by pretending. I teach you to be strong by trusting. The world tells you to endure by hardening your heart. I tell you to endure by surrendering it. You think resilience means never falling. I tell you resilience means rising again and again with me. When I walked this earth, I carried weight heavier than you know. I faced misunderstanding, rejection, betrayal, and pain. Yet I did not rush ahead of the Father. I did not lean on my own strength. I paused. I prayed. I trusted. I obeyed. That same way is open to you now. I do not ask you to become stronger overnight. I ask you to stay connected. Strength does not come from forcing yourself forward, it comes from remaining with me when everything in you wants to quit. Some of you feel guilty for being tired, as if faith should have erased exhaustion. Listen carefully. Even I rested. Even I withdrew. Even I wept. Rest is not failure. Rest is wisdom. You are allowed to pause without giving up. Right now you may be facing something you did not choose, an unexpected loss, a delayed answer, a heavy responsibility, or a silent season. You keep asking why it feels harder when you are trying to do what is right. But hear me, resistance does not mean you are off the path. Often, it means you are walking the right one. I am closer in your struggle than you think. Do not measure your faith by how calm you feel. Measure it by where you returned when you are overwhelmed. And you returned here. That matters. Some of you have been carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. You took responsibility for things I never asked of you. You blamed yourself for outcomes I was already handling. That is why your shoulders feel heavy and your spirit feels tight. Give it back to me. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust me with what you cannot understand. Trust is not blind, it is relational. You trust because you know me, not because the path is clear. If you are still standing after everything you have been through, that is not coincidence. That is grace. And let me say this gently, your value has never been based on your productivity, your success, or your ability to hold everything together. Your value was settled long before today. You do not earn my love by enduring pain silently. You already have it. This moment right now is not random. I am inviting you to shift how you see strength. Not as something you must produce, but as something you receive. So breathe. You do not need to fix your whole life today. You only need to take the next step with me. Tomorrow will meet you when you arrive. Grace is always given daily, never all at once. And before I go on, I want to know something, not for me, but for you. If what I am saying feels true in your spirit, if you sense that I am speaking directly to where you are right now, right, I receive this. In the comments. This is not for visibility. It is a quiet declaration of trust, my child. Stay with me. What I will speak next will help you rebuild from the inside, not with noise, but with truth. Do not rush away. What is coming is meant to steady your heart and guide your steps in a way that lasts. Remain here. I am not finished yet. I teach you where real strength comes from. Come closer and listen carefully. You have been taught that strength means control, controlling outcomes, controlling emotions, controlling how others see you. But that kind of strength exhausts the soul. It keeps you alert, alert, tense, and afraid of losing balance. I did not design you to live like that. Real strength is quieter than you think. It does not announce itself. It does not rush. It does not panic when things go wrong. Real strength is rooted. It remains when circumstances change. And that strength is not found inside your willpower. It is found inside your trust. You keep asking me for strength, yet many times you are still holding tightly to what you should release. Strength flows when your hands open, not when they clench. Look at how you respond when life presses you. You immediately ask, "What should I do?" before you ask, "Whom should I trust?" That is why your efforts feel heavy. You are carrying direction before receiving alignment. When I walked among people, I never began with action. I began with communion. Before the crowds, before the miracles, before the decisions, I withdrew to be with the Father. Not because I was weak, but because I understood the source. You are trying to draw water without returning to the well. I know you feel responsible. I know you feel like things will fall apart if you stop pushing. But hear me clearly. What is sustained by pressure will collapse under pressure. What is sustained by me will endure. Some of you are tired because you are strong in the wrong way. You have been strong by suppressing pain instead of surrendering it, strong by staying silent instead of being honest, strong by enduring alone instead of leaning on me. That is not the strength I offer. The strength I give does not numb you, it steadies you. It does not harden you, it grounds you. It does not make life painless, it makes you unshakable. You wonder why small things irritate you lately, why patience feels thin, why joy feels distant even when blessings are present. It is not because you are ungrateful, it is because you are depleted. And depletion is not solved by trying harder, it is healed by reconnecting deeper. Let me teach you something vital. Strength grows in dependence, not independence. The world praises self-made resilience. I bless surrendered resilience. When you depend on me, you stop measuring your capacity and start trusting mine. This is why I told you not to worry about tomorrow. Worry drains today of its strength. Faith anchors it. You do not gain resilience by imagining future pain. You gain it by staying present with me now. Some of you replay past failures, wondering where you went wrong. Others fear repeating mistakes, so you hesitate to move forward. Both are forms of fear disguised as caution. And fear, even subtle fear, weakens the heart. I do not ask you to ignore reality, I ask you to see reality through me. I already know what you are facing next. I am not surprised by the road ahead, I am already there. That is why you do not need to carry tomorrow's weight today. Let today be enough. There are moments when I allow you to feel your limits, not to shame you, but to show you where my strength begins. When you finally admit I can't, heaven responds with I can. Stop apologizing for being human. You are not faithless because you feel tired. You are not failing because you feel overwhelmed. You are not distant from me because you have questions. You are growing. Growth often feels like discomfort before it feels like confidence. You keep asking me to remove the struggle, but sometimes the struggle is shaping your discernment, your compassion, your endurance. I do not waste pain, I transform it. And listen, this is important. You are allowed to set boundaries without guilt. You are allowed to say no without explaining. You are allowed to rest without justifying it. Strength includes wisdom, not just endurance. Some of you have confused sacrifice with self-neglect. That was never my teaching. I never asked you to abandon yourself. I asked you to deny selfishness. Those are not the same. When you neglect your soul, you cannot serve with clarity. When you neglect rest, you lose discernment. When you neglect truth, resentment grows quietly. I want you whole, not merely functioning. The strength I am forming in you is not loud. It will not impress everyone, but it will last. It will carry you through uncertainty without panic and through waiting without bitterness. And it begins here by trusting me more than you trust your own coping strategies. Before you continue listening, pause for a moment. If you are willing to stop relying only on yourself and allow me to redefine strength in your life, type, I trust you to lead me below. This is not for others to see. It is a turning point between you and me. Stay with me. What I will speak next will teach you how to remain steady even when life becomes unpredictable. Do not leave early. What is coming will help you live differently, not just feel encouraged for a moment. Remain attentive. I am guiding you step by step. I show you how to stand when life shakes. Stay with me. There will be moments in your life when everything you thought was stable begins to tremble. Plans change. People shift. Doors close without explanation. And in those moments, you will be tempted to believe that something has gone wrong, either with your choices or with your faith. But listen carefully. Shaking does not mean collapsing. Some things are shaken because they are weak. Others are shaken so they can be strengthened. I allow certain movements in your life not to harm you, but to reveal what truly holds you. When storms rise, you often focus on what you might lose. I focus on what must remain. You cannot build resilience on certainty. Certainty disappears. You build resilience on trust. Trust stays. I know how unsettling it feels when answers do not come quickly. Silence feels heavier than bad news. Waiting feels harder than action. And yet, waiting is where your inner foundation is tested and refined. Do not confuse delay with denial. I have not stepped away from your situation. I have slowed you down because what is coming requires depth, not speed. Some blessings cannot be rushed without being ruined. You want clarity. I want closeness. When everything feels unstable, your instinct is to grasp explanations, reassurance, control. But I invite you to root instead of grasping. Roots grow downward, unseen, quietly strengthening what stands above. This is why some of your progress feels invisible. I am working below the surface. There are seasons when I calm the storm. There are other seasons when I calm you. Both are acts of love. If I removed every challenge immediately, you would never learn how deeply held you are. If I answered every question instantly, you would never develop discernment. Strength is not formed in comfort alone, it is forged in perseverance. You ask me why you feel unsteady lately? It is because you are learning to stand without leaning on what once supported you. I am gently removing crutches so you can walk freely. This feels uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Some of you are grieving versions of life you expected to have by now. You imagined yourself further along, more settled, more certain. And disappointment whispers lies that say you are behind. You are not behind. You are becoming. Growth does not move in straight lines. It deepens before it expands. And what I am building in you now will support you later in ways you cannot yet imagine. When fear rises, ask yourself this: what am I standing on? If it is approval, it will shake. If it is success, it will shake. If it is comfort, it will shake. But if it is me, you will stand. I do not promise you a life without storms. I promise you a foundation that endures them. You are stronger than you feel, not because you are resilient on your own, but because you are not alone in the shaking. I am present in the uncertainty, steady in the chaos, unmovable when everything else shifts. Let me teach you how to respond when life shakes you. Do not panic. Do not rush decisions. Do not abandon what you know to be true just because things feel unfamiliar. Stand still long enough to hear me. You do not need to react to every disturbance. Some moments pass if you remain grounded. Discernment grows in stillness, not in urgency. And hear this gently. Not everything that feels like falling apart is actually failing. Some things are realigning. You will look back one day and realize that what felt like instability was actually transition. And you will thank me for not letting you settle where you would have eventually shrunk. I'm not preparing you for an easy life. I'm preparing you for a meaningful one. And meaning requires depth. Before we go further, I want you to acknowledge something honestly. If you are willing to stay grounded in me even when life feels uncertain, if you are choosing trust over panic right now, right, I will stand firm in the comments. Let it be a quiet commitment, my child, between your heart and mine. Do not leave yet. What I will speak next will show you how to regain peace when your thoughts feel restless and your emotions feel heavy. This is where many lose strength, but you will not. Stay with me. I give you peace when your mind will not rest. Stay here with me. Your body may be still, but your thoughts keep running. You replay conversations, imagine outcomes, revisit mistakes, and worry about what has not yet happened. Even in quiet moments, your mind feels crowded. And you wonder why peace feels so far away. Let me tell you something gently. Restlessness is not a failure of faith. It is a signal that your mind needs guidance, not judgment. Peace is not the absence of noise around you. Peace is the presence of trust within you. Many people try to quiet their thoughts by distraction. They stay busy, scroll endlessly, or fill silence with sound. But distraction only delays unrest, it does not heal it. I offer something different. I offer peace that settles, not escapes. When I spoke of peace, I did not mean temporary relief. I meant a steady assurance that holds you even when answers are incomplete. That peace does not come from controlling thoughts, but from surrendering them. You are not meant to carry every thought to its conclusion. Some thoughts are not instructions, they are invitations to release. You ask me, why does my mind keep returning to the same worries? Because unresolved fears demand attention. They knock until they are acknowledged. But once you bring them to me honestly, they lose their power. Do not fight your thoughts with force, guide them with truth. When fear speaks, respond with trust. When doubt speaks, respond with remembrance. When anxiety speaks, respond with surrender. This is how peace is practiced. I know some of you feel guilty for feeling anxious, as if calmness should come automatically to those who believe. But even my closest followers wrestled with fear. What mattered was not the presence of fear, but where they brought it. Bring it to me. You do not need to have the right words. You do not need to sound strong. You only need to be honest. I listen more to sincerity than to eloquence. Let me show you how peace grows. Peace grows when you stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios and start anchoring yourself in what is true right now. Right now, you are breathing. Right now, you are held. Right now, you are not abandoned. Your mind travels to tomorrow, but your strength exists today. When your thoughts spiral, pause and ask, is this something I can control or something I need to trust? If it is trust, then release it. Holding it will not make it safer. You were never meant to predict your future. You were meant to walk with me into it. Some of you are carrying emotional weight from conversations that never happened and outcomes that never came. You suffered twice, once in imagination, once in reality. I want to free you from that cycle. Peace is choosing presence over projection. When I walked among people, I faced constant pressure, expectations, and opposition. Yet I did not rush mentally ahead of the moment I was in. I stayed attentive to the Father. That attentiveness is what kept my heart steady. You can learn this too. Create space for stillness, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Stillness may reveal thoughts you have been avoiding, but that is how healing begins. I do not reveal to harm you, I reveal to restore you. Do not be afraid of quiet moments. I speak most clearly there. Some of you say, I pray, but my mind wanders. That does not disqualify you. Gently return. Peace is built through repetition, not perfection. Each time you choose to return your thoughts to me, you strengthen your inner calm. Over time, your mind learns where safety lives. And remember this, you do not need to understand everything to have peace. Understanding may come later. Peace can come now. You are allowed to rest without having every answer. You are allowed to trust without seeing the whole picture. You are allowed to let me carry what you cannot. If you feel overwhelmed, do not ask yourself, how do I fix everything? Ask instead, what is the next faithful step? Peace often arrives one step at a time. Let today be simpler. Release what you cannot resolve. Accept what you cannot change today. Trust me with what you cannot yet see. I am not distant from your thoughts. I know every one of them, and I am not threatened by your questions. I welcome them. Before we move on, take a quiet moment. If you are willing to practice releasing anxious thoughts and allowing me to guide your mind into peace, right? I release my worries to you below. Let it be a personal decision, my child, not a public performance. Remain here. What I will share next will help you understand how to walk forward with courage, even when fear tries to follow you. This matters more than you know. Stay with me. I teach you how to walk forward without fear. Listen to me closely now. Fear does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers. It disguises itself as caution, as overthinking, as delay. You tell yourself you are being wise, but deep inside, something is holding you back. Not wisdom, fear. Fear keeps you circling the same place even when I'm calling you forward. I do not shame you for being afraid. Fear is a human response to uncertainty. But I do not want fear to be your guide. Fear narrows your vision. Faith widens it. You ask me for courage. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is movement despite fear. Every step you have taken toward growth was taken with trembling. That does not make it weak. That makes it real. When I called people to follow me, I did not give them full explanations. I gave them an invitation. And those who grew were not the ones who understood everything. They were the ones who trusted enough to move. You are standing at such a place now. There is something you know you must do. A conversation you have delayed, a decision you have postponed, a change you sense but resist because of what it might cost. Fear magnifies the cost and minimizes the grace. I want to correct that. What I ask of you will stretch you, but it will not destroy you. Fear tells you, what if you fail? I ask you, what if you grow? Fear tells you, what if you lose? I ask you, what if you are finally free? You have learned how to survive. Now I am teaching you how to live with intention. Do not wait until you feel fearless. That moment rarely comes. Move with me while your hands still shake. I will steady you as you walk. I never promised a path without risk. I promised my presence on the path. Some of you are afraid because you tried before and were hurt. You trusted once and were disappointed. You stepped out and felt exposed. That pain taught you to protect yourself, but protection can quietly become a prison. I'm not asking you to be careless. I'm asking you to be courageous. Courage is not loud confidence. Courage is quiet obedience. You may not feel ready, but readiness is often revealed after the step, not before it. Trust does not grow in waiting alone, it grows in walking. And hear this clearly. Fear loses power when you name it and place it in my hands. Hiding fear strengthens it. Surrendering fear weakens it. You do not need to conquer fear by yourself. You need to walk with me through it. When you look too far ahead, fear overwhelms you. When you stay close to me, the next step becomes clear. I guide you in portions, not panoramas. Do not demand certainty where trust is required. You are not behind because you are cautious. But you will remain stuck if caution replaces obedience. Let me say something important. You are allowed to outgrow places, roles, and versions of yourself that once felt safe. Growth often feels like loss before it feels like expansion. I am not removing something without replacing it with something deeper. And even if you stumble, I do not withdraw. Falling does not disqualify you. Refusing to move keeps you bound. I am patient with your pace, but I am intentional about your direction. So walk. Walk even when your voice shakes. Walk even when others do not understand. Walk even when the outcome is not guaranteed. I am with you in the moment. Before we go further, pause and answer honestly. If you are willing to take the next step I am placing before you, even if fear is present type, I will move forward with you in the comments. Let this be a declaration of courage, my child. Now, listen carefully. If these words are strengthening you, if they are helping you walk through real life with more clarity and courage, then stay connected. You are not meant to journey alone. Support this space by liking this video and subscribing so these messages continue to reach hearts that are quietly searching. If you desire deeper guidance and want to walk this path consistently, consider joining this growing community. And if these words have lifted your spirit or brought peace, your super thanks is a way of saying, "This helped me," and it allows this work to continue for others. Do not rush away yet. What I will speak next will help you build resilience that lasts not just for today, but for the seasons ahead. Stay until the end. And what is coming will help you live differently, not just feel inspired for a moment. Remain with me. We are not finished. I strengthen you for the long journey. Stay with me. Not every season in your life will be dramatic or urgent. Some seasons are long, quiet stretches where progress feels slow and results seem distant. These are the seasons that test endurance more than courage. And it is here in the long journey that many begin to lose heart. But I want you to understand something important. Endurance is not about speed, it is about staying aligned. You do not need to run ahead to prove your faith. You do not need to see quick results to know you are growing. Some of the deepest work I do in you happens gradually beneath the surface, where no one applauds and no one notices. You have asked me, why does it take so long? Because lasting strength is not rushed. If everything came quickly, you would rely on outcomes instead of character. But I am shaping who you are becoming, not just what you are achieving. There will be days when obedience feels repetitive, when prayer feels routine, when doing what is right brings no immediate reward. Those are not wasted days. Those are the days endurance is built. Do not underestimate consistency. A single act of faith can inspire you, but repeated acts of faith transform you. Strength that lasts is formed through steady trust, not emotional highs. Some of you feel discouraged because you expected this stage of life to look different. You imagined clarity, stability, or ease by now. Instead, you find yourself still learning, still adjusting, still waiting, and comparison makes it heavier. Stop measuring your journey against someone else's pace. You are not late. You are not stuck. You are being prepared. The long journey teaches you how to remain faithful without constant affirmation. It teaches you how to keep loving when appreciation fades. It teaches you how to keep believing when evidence is thin. This kind of strength cannot be taught quickly. When I walked toward the cross, my path was not hurried. I stayed obedient day after day, even when opposition grew and understanding decreased. Endurance carried me where excitement could not. You will need this same endurance. There will be moments when you feel tempted to quit quietly, not in rebellion but in weariness. You will think, what difference does it make? That is when endurance matters most. Faithfulness, when unseen, is powerful. I see every quiet choice you make. Every time you choose patience over reaction. Every time you choose integrity over ease. Every time you choose hope when discouragement feels justified. Nothing is wasted. Some of you are tired because you are trying to endure alone. Endurance was never meant to be solitary. That is why I keep drawing you back to me, not just for direction but for renewal. You are allowed to be refreshed along the way. Endurance does not mean suppressing fatigue. It means returning to the source of strength again and again. When you feel weak, that is not the moment to push harder. It is the moment to lean deeper. Let me renew you. There are seasons when I ask you to wait, not because nothing is happening, but because something is forming. Waiting trains patience. Patience trains endurance. Endurance shapes character. And character carries you through life's weight without breaking. Do not despise slow progress. Slow growth is often strong growth. You are learning how to remain steady when emotions fluctuate. How to keep walking when motivation fades. How to trust when reassurance is absent. These lessons will serve you long after this season ends. I know it feels repetitive. I know it feels quiet. But quiet does not mean empty. You are becoming rooted. And roots matter more than visibility. One day, when storms come that would have broken you before, you will remain standing. Not because you are stronger on your own, but because you learn endurance here. So stay faithful in small things. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay connected to me. Before we continue, I want you to acknowledge this moment honestly. If you are willing to keep walking with me, even when progress feels slow and the journey feels long, write, I will endure with you in the comments. Let this be a quiet commitment, my child, to stay the course. Remain here. What I will speak next will help you understand how to grow wiser through hardship, not bitter, and how to let challenges refine you instead of harden you. Stay with me. I turn your pain into wisdom. Stay with me and listen slowly. Not every wound in your life came from your mistakes. Some came from trusting, from loving sincerely, from trying to do what was right. Pain has a way of making you question your judgment, your worth, and even your faith. And if you are not careful, Pain will harden you instead of teaching you. I do not want your pain to make you bitter. I want it to make you wise. There is a difference. Bitterness closes the heart. Wisdom opens the eyes. Bitterness keeps you looking backward. Wisdom helps you walk forward with discernment. And the difference lies in how you allow me to meet you in your pain. Do not rush to explain your suffering. Sit with me in it first. Some of you tried to move on too quickly. You told yourself you were fine when you were not. You buried grief under responsibility. You silenced hurt with productivity. But unresolved pain does not disappear. It shapes you quietly. I want to heal what you learned to ignore. Wisdom is not gained by avoiding pain. It is gained by walking through it with understanding. When pain is processed with me, it becomes insight. When it is suppressed, it becomes a wound that reopens. You ask me why certain experiences changed you. They were meant to, not to diminish you, but to deepen you. Pain reveals what matters. It shows you where your boundaries were weak, where your expectations were misplaced, where your identity was too tightly tied to approval or outcomes. These revelations are not accusations. They are invitations to grow. Do not shame yourself for what you did not know then. You acted with the understanding you had at the time. Wisdom comes afterward. Some of you are angry, not loudly but quietly. Disappointment settled into your spirit and now colors how you see people, opportunities, even me. You still believe, but you are guarded. I see that guard and I am patient with it. Trust that has been broken needs time to heal. I do not rush restoration. I restore gently so you are not re-injured. But hear this clearly. Protecting yourself by closing your heart will cost you more than it saves you. Wisdom teaches discernment without withdrawal. It teaches caution without cynicism. It allows you to love again, but more truthfully. I do not ask you to forget what hurt you. I ask you to let it instruct you instead of imprison you. When pain is surrendered, it sharpens perception. You begin to notice red flags sooner. You listen more deeply. You choose more carefully. This is wisdom being formed. Some of you wonder why you are more sensitive now. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is awareness. When guided by me, it becomes discernment. Let me refine it. Do not let past pain define your future posture. Let it inform it. You are allowed to learn without becoming cold. You are allowed to be cautious without becoming closed. You are allowed to grow wiser without losing tenderness. That balance comes from me. I know you wish some lessons had not been so painful, but wisdom that comes without cost is often shallow. The wisdom you are gaining now will protect you later. And remember this, what hurt you did not defeat you. You are still here. You are still growing. You are still open enough to listen. That means healing is already underway. Do not despise your sensitivity. Let me teach you how to steward it. I am not erasing your past. I am redeeming it. Before we move forward, pause for a moment. If you are willing to allow me to turn your pain into wisdom instead of bitterness, write, "Teach me through this" in the comments. Let it be an honest request, my child, not a forced declaration. Stay with me. What I will speak next will help you understand how to forgive without losing strength and how to release the weight that pain has placed on your heart. Do not leave early. This is important. I free you through forgiveness, not weakness. Stay with me. There is a weight you have been carrying that you rarely name. It sits quietly in your heart, shows up in your reactions, and shapes how close you allow people to come. You tell yourself you have moved on, but something still tightens. When certain memories surface, that weight is unforgiveness. Not because you are cruel, not because you lack faith, but because forgiving deeply feels costly. It feels unfair. It feels like letting someone go free when they caused you pain. But listen carefully. Forgiveness is not about releasing them. It is about releasing you. When you hold on to resentment, you relive the wound again and again. When you forgive, you step out of its shadow. Forgiveness does not erase what happened. It removes its power over your present. I never asked you to pretend the hurt did not matter. I ask you to trust me with justice so your heart can heal. You fear that forgiving means excusing, minimizing, or reopening doors that should stay closed. That is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is an inner release. not an external agreement. You can forgive and still maintain boundaries. You can forgive and still choose distance. You can forgive without reconciliation when trust has been broken. Forgiveness is not reconciliation unless both hearts are willing. Forgiveness is obedience and freedom. Some of you are holding resentment because the apology never came. You waited, you hoped, you rehearsed what you would say if they ever acknowledged the pain. But silence remained. Do not let their silence imprison you. Your healing does not depend on their awareness. It depends on your willingness to let me carry what you cannot resolve. When I forgave, I did not wait for understanding. I forgave because love demanded it, and that forgiveness did not weaken me. It revealed my strength. You worry that forgiving will make you vulnerable again, but unforgiveness hardens you in ways you do not see. It makes joy cautious. It makes love conditional. It makes peace fragile. I want to free you from that. Forgiveness does not happen all at once. Sometimes it is a decision you make repeatedly. Each time the memory returns, you choose again to release it into my hands. This is not failure. This is practice. You may feel resistance when you try to forgive. That resistance comes from pain that still needs compassion. Bring that pain to me. Do not rush forgiveness without healing. Healing and forgiveness walk together. You are allowed to grieve what was lost. Forgiveness does not skip grief, it follows it. Some of you learned to forgive outwardly, but stayed bound inwardly. You said the words, but the wound remained untouched. I want to go deeper than words. I want to restore your heart's freedom. You do not need to confront everyone who hurt you. You need to release them to me. I am just. I see what was done. I do not forget truth. Forgiveness does not erase accountability. It transfers it to me. When you forgive, you stop carrying what was never meant for you to hold. And hear this clearly. Forgiveness is not something you give because they deserve it. It is something you give because you deserve peace. Do not let past harm define your present posture. You are not created to live guarded forever. I am gentle with your process. I do not force forgiveness. I invite it. I walk with you through it. And I restore what resentment stole. Before we continue, take a quiet moment. If you are willing to begin releasing unforgiveness, even if it feels difficult, write "I choose freedom" in the comments. Let it be an honest step, my child, not a rushed promise. Remain here. What I will speak next will help you understand how to live with renewed purpose after pain and how to move forward lighter than before. Stay with me. I restore your purpose after what you lost. Stay with me. There are things you lost that you never properly mourned. Not just people or opportunities, but versions of yourself. Confidence you once had. Dreams you once believed in, joy that felt natural before life complicated it. Loss does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it slips in quietly and reshapes how you see the future. I see those losses, and I want you to know this. What you lost is not the end of your purpose. Purpose is not fragile. It is not destroyed by delay, disappointment, or detours. It may be interrupted, but it is not erased. I am not finished with what I began in you. You fear that time has passed you by, that choices you made or choices made for you close doors permanently. But I work beyond doors. I work through hearts that are willing to begin again. You do not start from nothing. You start from experience. The pain you endured did not disqualify you. It refined you. It gave you depth, empathy, and awareness that will shape how you walk forward. Your purpose now may look different than you imagined, but different does not mean lesser. Sometimes I redirect purpose so it can reach deeper places. You are not meant to return to who you were. You are meant to become who you are now capable of being. Some of you feel hesitant to hope again. You tell yourself it is safer not to expect too much. But muted hope slowly drains life of color. I do not call you to reckless expectation, but to resilient hope. Hope that has survived pain is stronger than naive optimism. You ask me, what is my purpose now? Purpose begins with faithfulness in the present, not clarity about the future. You do not need to see the full picture. You need to be willing to walk the next step with intention. Purpose unfolds as you obey what is in front of you. Serve where you are. Love where you stand. Be truthful where it costs you something. These are not small things. They are the building blocks of a meaningful life. Do not underestimate how I use ordinary faithfulness to create extraordinary impact. Some of you think your season of usefulness has passed. You feel replaced, overlooked, or irrelevant. But I do not measure value by visibility. I measure it by willingness. I still have work for you. What you lost taught you what matters. What you endured taught you what lasts. Now let me teach you how to invest your life with wisdom, not regret. Your purpose is not behind you. It is unfolding differently than you expected. Release the pressure to recreate the past. I am doing something new, not by erasing what was, but by redeeming it. And listen closely. Your life still carries meaning, even if it looks quieter than before. Some of the most powerful work I do is unseen. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are being repositioned. Before we go further, I want you to respond honestly. If you are willing to trust me with your future purpose, even after loss and disappointment, write, "I trust what you are restoring" in the comments. Let this be a step of hope, my child, not certainty. Remain here. What I will speak next will bring everything together. How to live daily with strength, peace, and trust that lasts. Do not leave before the end. Stay with me. I teach you how to live steady. Every day stay with me. By now you have heard many truths, but truth only becomes strength when it is lived daily. Moments of inspiration can lift you, but habits of trust will sustain you. I do not want you to only feel encouraged when you listen to these words. I want you to live grounded when life speaks loudly again. Daily life is where faith matures. It is easy to feel close to me in reflection. It is harder and more meaningful to walk with me in ordinary hours, in routines, in responsibilities, in decisions that seem small but shape your character. Strength that lasts is practiced quietly. You often ask me for guidance in major moments, but you overlook the power of daily alignment. How you begin your day, how you respond to pressure, how you speak when you are tired, how you choose when no one is watching. These moments form the life you live. Do not wait for perfect conditions to practice faith. Practice it where you are. Speak honestly. Act with integrity. Choose patience. Return to me often, even briefly. You do not need long hours to remain connected. You need consistent turning. When your day feels heavy, pause and breathe. Invite me into that moment. When frustration rises, do not react immediately. Ask me how to respond. When joy appears, acknowledge me there too. This is how faith becomes a way of life, not a separate activity. Some of you feel unstable because your spiritual life is disconnected from your daily rhythm. You turn to me only when overwhelmed. I want to walk with you when things feel normal too. Consistency builds confidence. You do not need to be perfect to be steady. You need to be intentional. There will be days when you feel strong and days when you feel uncertain. Do not judge your faith by your emotions. Emotions change. Commitment remains. When you fall short, return. When you feel distant, return. When you feel confident, remain humble. Staying connected matters more than never stumbling. I'm not measuring your performance. I am nurturing your relationship with me. Live simply. Do what is right in front of you. Do not overcomplicate obedience. Love sincerely. Forgive quickly. Rest regularly. Trust me deeply. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. A steady life is not a loud life. It is a rooted one. You do not need to prove your faith to others. Let it shape how you treat people, how you handle pressure, and how you speak to yourself. And listen carefully. Do not try to carry everything at once. Daily strength is given daily. Tomorrow's grace will meet you tomorrow. Today's task is to be faithful today. I am not asking you to transform overnight. I am asking you to walk with me consistently. If you live this way, you will notice something change. You will respond instead of react. You will rest without guilt. You will face challenges without panic. You will grow steady even when circumstances are not. That steadiness is my gift to you. Before we move to the final part, I want you to pause and choose. If you are willing to practice this kind of daily walk, steady, intentional, and grounded right, I choose to walk with you daily in the comments. Let it be a sincere commitment, my child, not a promise of perfection. Now hear me clearly. If these words have been guiding you, strengthening you, and helping you live with clarity, stay connected. Like this video and subscribe so you continue receiving messages that speak to real life, not just moments of emotion. If you want to go deeper and walk this journey consistently with others who are growing, consider joining this community. And if you feel happy with my words and they have helped your life, your super thanks is a way of supporting this work so more hearts can be reached. Do not leave yet. There is one final part left. It will bring everything together and help you step forward with confidence, peace, and trust that lasts beyond this moment. Stay until the end. I am still with you. I send you forth strong, steady, and not alone. Remain with me for this final moment. You have listened. You have reflected. You have allowed these words to reach places in you that are usually guarded. That alone tells me something about your heart. You are willing to grow, even when growth is uncomfortable. Now I want to speak to you not as someone still searching, but as someone being sent forward. Everything I have spoken to you is not meant to stay here. It is meant to be lived. Truth that is only heard becomes memory. Truth that is practiced becomes strength. You are stepping into life again, not unchanged but clarified. You will still face challenges. You will still encounter uncertainty. There will be moments when fear tries to return, when weariness whispers again, when old habits invite you back. Do not be surprised by this. Growth does not erase struggle, it teaches you how to meet it differently. You are not starting over, you are continuing with wisdom. Remember this above all else, you are not walking alone. I am not a voice you hear only in reflection. I am a presence that goes with you into every ordinary and difficult moment. When you feel steady, I am with you. When you feel unsure, I am with you. When you stumble, I am with you. Do not measure your future by your past pain. Pain has instructed you, not defined you. Do not measure your faith by perfection. Faith is proven by return. When you fall short, return. When you feel distant, return. When you feel strong, remain humble and return. This rhythm will keep you grounded. You do not need to become someone else to live well. You need to live truthfully as who you are becoming. Let go of the pressure to impress, to rush, to prove. A life rooted in me does not need constant validation. Be patient with your process. Some of the changes you long for will happen quietly. Others will unfold slowly. Trust that what is unseen is not undone. I am still working when you do not feel progress. Carry peace into your daily choices. Carry courage into conversations you have been avoiding. Carry wisdom into decisions that once confused you. Carry compassion for others and for yourself. And when life feels heavy again, remember what you have learned here. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to release what you cannot control. You are allowed to forgive without losing strength. You are allowed to hope again. You are allowed to walk forward even when certainty is incomplete. Do not return to survival mode when life presses you. Return to trust. I have not called you to live overwhelmed. I have called you to live anchored. There will be moments when you wonder if you are truly changing. Change is not always dramatic. Often it shows up as calmer reactions, clearer boundaries, gentler self-talk, deeper patience, and quieter confidence. Those are signs of growth. Let your life speak more than your words. Let consistency speak louder than emotion. Let faith be visible, not in what you claim, but in how you love, forgive, endure, and begin again. And remember, your story is not finished. There are chapters ahead that will make sense of what felt confusing. There are connections ahead that will bring meaning to what felt like loss. There is strength ahead that will surprise you. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. Before we part, I want you to seal this moment, not with noise, but with intention. If you are ready to step back into your life with steadiness, trust, and courage, carrying what you have received here, right, I will walk forward in faith in the comments. Let it be a quiet commitment, my child, to live what you have heard. Go now, live gently, walk steadily, trust deeply. I am with you always.